If you enjoy the show, please consider signing up for our weekly bonus episodes available from the Hard Times via Coil. Coil is a new subscription service that allows you to enjoy web-monetized content in your browser while supporting sites you love in real time. For $5 per month, you gain access to bonus content from Coward Hour, The Hard Times, Hard Drive, and over 20 other comedy websites. For more information, you can go to our website, cowardhour.com. There you can also find the link to our Discord and sign up for our mailing list. Thank you, and enjoy our wretched podcast. All right, here we are.
We're back. We took a break, or I took a break, rather. I was gone for a little bit.
It feels weird when we, bank episodes in advance and then, because, we'll put them out and then I've completely forgotten what we talked about.
Oh, on the episodes?
Yeah, and then people will be people will drop in the Discord to correct us on factual errors, and I'm like, I don't know what any of this is about.
Somebody said something to me that I was like, and I didn't want to I guess I could ask. I guess I could just be upfront, just like, look, man, I literally, the minute we put these things online, I empty it out of my brain. Mm-hmm. So I can try to learn useful information, which I've been trying to do.
I mean, I don't do that, but it does leave my brain.
Yeah, it fucking flies out of my brain. I'm worried that, I was Googling on my phone. We have fleas in our house right now. I moved into Isaac's house. Mm-hmm. You might remember.
Which you ought not to have done.
Where else was I going to go?
That house is just for trapped men with no options.
Dude, and it's fucking...
You basically live in a halfway house.
It's haunted. Did I show you that picture? I walked into the kitchen this morning because somebody was supposed to come flea fog the place, and they didn't. They just rescheduled on Isaac last minute. And so I walked into the kitchen this morning because I'm getting ready to take the cat out of there and everything. And Isaac's jar of peanut butter is just sitting perfectly in the middle of the kitchen floor. And I texted him and I was like, yo, man, what? I was like, whose is this? He goes, that's mine. It should be in the drawer. And I'm like, well, it's in the middle of the kitchen floor. He goes, that's weird. The Mean Boys did say they used to watch tables and chairs move in this house. It's fucking great. That's literally. But I had to clean Rita because there's fleas. She didn't bring the fleas in. The fleas, those boys,
there were already fleas.
And so I had to clean her with Dawn dish soap. And then I was just reading that apparently because
an oil spill.
Yes. Yeah, it's that bad. It's as bad as when you see
there's
them
an ecological disaster happening in your home.
So
the image of just a jar of peanut butter in the center of the floor is very funny.
Perfectly in the center, which is why it was so scary.
But honestly, Isaac used to do that shit all the time.
In the middle of the floor?
Yes.
Really?
I remember coming home, and I've mentioned this before, but there's just a plate with one slice of white bread on it in the center of the kitchen table.
Well, at least that's on a table. Can we give him credit for getting it on the table? The middle of the floor it feels like a mischievous entity.
Yeah, that does. Because there's some sort of poltergeist of some sort.
There's no mistaking that it doesn't belong there. Mm-hmm. You know? Anyway, I just read. I cleaned Rita with dish soap, and now I'm reading that. And I couldn't dry her off because she was flipping the fuck out. And so she was licking herself. I'm like, all right, she'll lick herself clean. But apparently that means that I'm gonna come home to just dry diarrhea and vomit in my hot room because I guess it makes cats have diarrhea.
Huh. Well, I mean, that'll make you feel at home, right? You're used to animal diarrhea everywhere.
That's very true. I am used to, but of the dog variety.
Yeah.
I've never even seen a cat have diarrhea.
Me neither. I can't say that I have. Well, with the cat, I mean, will she likely do it in the litter box, but then she'll try to bury it?
How does
this work?
I'm going to find out. We're flying blind.
The cat's going to have diarrhea in the litter box. It's just going to coat the bottom, and then it's going to be like when you dig down far enough that you find water.
Yeah.
There's just going to be a well of diarrhea in the litter box.
Yeah. It's going to spurt up like oil. I'm going to have to fucking tink, tink, ting. Just like,
It's like an old Looney Tunes thing where you start dancing because you're rich.
No, I fly backwards. I go deaf in one ear. This house is my downfall. That's yeah. My room is the hottest room. Somehow my room is the hottest room because the house gets hot, but my room, like specifically, like there's no AC in the house. The whole house is like shifted. Like you can tell that there must have been an earthquake or something that shifted the floor because I put my free weights down at the foot of my bed, and the minute I put them down, they just rolled under my bed.
I think that we might have an explanation for the tables and chairs moving.
True, that might be the case. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the better explanation is that the house is all fucked up and Isaac forgot that he just put peanut butter down in the middle of the floor.
Yeah, but there's no even footing in the house.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm all for spooky nonsense. Yeah. I'm all about that shit.
It's such a shithole, man. My room is an oven. Everybody else in the house is like, "Why is your room so hot?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Mm-hmm. You've been here longer.
Yeah,
you could have fixed this at some point.
I guess it doesn't happen to them. How could that? This is a haunted house. Some rooms are like an oven, others are chilly. The peanut butter is moving around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, your house sounds uniquely bad, but we're also like we're approaching 30. It's like about time to stop having a bunch of dudes as roommates.
Yes,
and I don't see any way out of this life.
I think I'm going back to work next month. Mm-hmm. My goal for the year, since the only creative pursuit I have is this, and I don't have to see people, I'm just trying to pack away enough fucking money for the rest of this year, and then who knows if I'm staying in LA? We'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to stop this boy's life. I'm done with it. I can't do it anymore.
Well, you went on Bay's weekend, and now you're fucking... I know this.
I started setting goals.
Yeah. You gotta find a balance. Remember when I found Bay and I was like, I think I just want to be a husband.
Well,
I don't think I want to have a podcast anymore.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that at all. I just can't.
You got to find a nice balance where you still have dreams, but also you're laying down foundation.
No, the June window for getting out of this house is the only thing keeping me sane. Because, like, dude, every night when I fucking go to sleep, I'm like, less than a year. I only have to be here for less than a year, and then my life can change. Now, will I have the means to change my life? No, but that is a beautiful window to look out of. Mm-hmm. Do you understand? It's a nice light at the end of the tunnel. To tell myself that by June everything will be good.
Why June?
Because that's when Isaac's lease is up.
Oh, okay.
And so that's when we're all getting the fuck out. Mm-hmm. And that's also when Bay's lease is up. It's a harmonious convergence, okay? Mm-hmm. Juxtaposed to the dark convergence going on in the world right now. There's two convergences in my life. I really started flipping out. Did you watch the Neuralink thing?
I didn't watch it, but I saw some people talking about it. Tell me what this video was like. What did he make the pig do?
I didn't watch it yet either.
I assume he makes the pig trot itself out, grab a gun, and shoot itself in the head. And he's like, see? Progress.
Yeah, the pig shoots itself in the head, and then he turns on the Neuralink, and the pig continues doing tasks. He's like, there you go. How cool is that? Well, what's really... Dude, I'm just flipping the fuck out. It's like, we had a Category 4 hurricane that was stronger than most Category 5s that have been recorded because the strength of hurricanes is increasing because of global warming and just, like, changing weather patterns. So that's not good.
I missed that.
Oh, you didn't?
I am so out of the loop,
Fucking
dude.
Louisiana and Texas got wrecked, but then it did degrade to a tropical storm. Something impeded it, but we're gonna see more of those. Mm-hmm. Laura, she was a real bitch. The RNC was fucking crazy.
Do you think any embittered weatherman has ever just like named the hurricane after his wife?
Yeah, he doesn't agree with what the National Weather Service called it. Like,
Just some guy at the National Weather Service is like, all right, we got Hurricane Deborah, and they're like, aren't we on H? And he's like, well, it just seemed like a Deborah the way it's always stomping around.
But unlike a Deborah that I know, this Deborah will be blowing. This Deborah, actually, much like the Deborah that I know, this Deborah will be blowing everybody. Everybody in town is going to get blown by Hurricane Deborah. But not me.
Not me.
Not me. Well, so there was the RNC, which was fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. That guy, Kyle Rittenhouse, shot those protesters. Did you see that?
No. What?
Are you kidding? This dude.
I don't get any news, Nick.
Okay, let me give you the rundown on this week. So it's kind of fucking crazy. This 17-year-old kid who showed up to the Kenosha riots because Jacob Blake was shot 7 times in the back, so people are protesting. Do you know about Jacob Blake?
No.
Okay. Jacob Blake was an unarmed man who was shot 7 times in the back by the police as he was had his back turned to them trying to get into his car where his children were.
Well, they got to stop doing that.
They got to stop doing that. He survived. He's paralyzed from the waist down, so he didn't die. So I think the officers are on paid administrative leave, so obviously they were protesting Kenosha. Now, there was this kid, Kyle Rittenhouse, who's from Illinois. Actually, yeah, I was going to say a detail that I don't need to say. He's from Illinois. And he drove across state lines. Now, Kyle Rittenhouse previously, when he was 16, he got a citation or something. I think it was a citation or got in trouble for operating a firearm, AR-15 style firearm while intoxicated. He also got arrested for drug possession. So he drove across state lines to Kenosha, Wisconsin to, in his words, like protect businesses and assist like other people in defending their businesses from looters. So he showed up. There's videos of like him and some other, I guess, I don't know if they were like a formally organized militia, if they were just like loosely referring to themselves as militia. Tell me if at any point this is not interesting.
It is.
Okay.
No, I'm very interested.
Okay. So there's video of the cops like signaling to them, throwing them water, saying, "We appreciate you being here." And then what happened at some point in the night, he had a confrontation with a protester who apparently like verbally accosted him and threw a plastic bag at him. Kyle Rittenhouse shot this motherfucker in the head and killed him. So that happened. Immediately protesters started like chasing after, and he called one of his friends on the phone after he did it, and he said, "I just killed somebody." And so then protesters started going after him, trying to get the fucking rifle away from him. One protester went up to him with a skateboard, hit him with it, tried to wrestle the rifle away. Kyle shot him in the chest. It went through his heart. He died. Another protester was shot in the arm. Kyle Rittenhouse, after shooting 3 people, signaled to the police how many fucking people he shot. It's crazy. And then wound up driving home back to Illinois.
He fucking Gimli and Legolas.
Yeah, dude. Yes. He thought it was the Battle of Helm's Deep, dude.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he drove home, turned himself in Illinois. The cops let him get away. It's some fucking wild shit, and a lot of it was captured on cell phone video. So he's now. I think they're trying to.
I don't even know if I can riff about this,
dude. It's a fucking tough one.
But I will prevail. As always, this is a comedy podcast.
It's so awesome. Pierce found his old YouTube channel. He tweeted it, but I don't think anybody understood what it was. But it's him. It's basically him. They're starting a gaming channel, and it's him talking about, he's like, yeah, basically, I'm an old school PS2 guy, and what I'm going to do, basically, we're going to hop on GTA San Andreas. We're going to see how many motherfuckers we can kill and run over. When he's like 13 years old. So he turned himself in. They don't know if they're going to try him in Illinois or Wisconsin. I think they want to try him in Wisconsin so that they can try him as an adult. The crazy thing is, mainstream, like, dude, fucking Tucker Carlson went on Fox News.
Wait, how old is this guy?
He's 17. He was illegally operating a firearm.
Yeah, you can't own an AR.
No, you can't. I think there might be. I think that in Wisconsin they have different open carry laws. Like, I remember reading that, like, you don't need a permit to open carry in Wisconsin while I was reading about this.
But I mean, probably not if you're an adult who can legally own a firearm.
Right, of course, but that's probably what I'm saying is... But, yeah, again, at no point did the cops ask him for ID or anything like that. So, it's fucking crazy. What's weird is, like, conservatives are, like, fucking praising this guy. They're like, he did what he was supposed to do. And it's like, dude, we are like entering a point of no return with the fucking discourse around this issue. Like, man, dude shot somebody in the head for throwing a plastic bag at him. What the fuck are we
What was in the bag?
Nothing. I don't believe.
Like a grocery store bag?
I think it was just kind of a fuck you, like... from what I understand, he was mainly being verbally accosted. And I guess he took any sign of, like, aggression as the go-to to start firing, which he did. So, yeah, seeing Tucker Carlson, like, publicly, like, praised him on his fucking show, saying, like, you know, how are we to criticize this kid when he's the only one standing up for, like, you know, when law enforcement won't step up, he has to take matters into his own hands. All this crazy shit. So that's that. And then what happened the day after that was just a nice little cherry on top of the year that is 2020 is apparently they've successfully created remote-controlled microscopic machines that they can use to operate on people. And they said the problem is they're not AI capable yet, but they are working on it. So, nanites. Nanites are real.
Yeah, I was reading the article of that, and like at no point did they express any concern about like what the implications could be.
They never do. They never express a concern about fucking AI or any of this shit. Like, or the guy who did.
It seems pretty plain that we should not invent microscopic autonomous robots.
That could be hacked. I mean, have you ever seen Agent Cody Banks? Because we're headed for Agent Cody Banks really quick. The whole plot of Agent Cody Banks is the bad guy, fucking Ian McShane in that movie. He's created nanites that he wants to put into the world water supply so that at any moment he can just like have the nanites eat people's skin. Very dark for a PG-rated Malcolm in the Middle movie.
Yeah.
And at the end of the thing I never forget, at the end of the movie, they force feed him fucking ice cubes full of nanites, and they eat his skin from the inside out. That will happen. That's gonna happen.
Jesus
You can't
Christ.
tell me that it's not gonna happen, because everything that I was told wasn't gonna happen is happening.
Yeah, it's gonna happen for
It's
sure.
gonna happen. The Pentagon's gonna fucking declassify alien files this year. I don't think human consciousness is ready. I think that we are about to try to sprint 10 years of like. I think that people are gonna flip the fuck out.
Man, I really wish that I could live in like just a cabin 200 years ago.
Oh, absolutely. I would take the 70s. I really would. I would even.
I mean, that'd be better. But if you gave me the choice to live in any year pre 1980, I would do it.
I had
including like 0 BC.
I had a super regressive fantasy with Tim and his video game buddy John in the chat, where I was like, honestly, dude, one genie, one wish right now. Make me 18 in the year 1990. Make me 18 in the year 1990. Last time you could just like fuck
But
around.
then you'd still have to live through this.
But I'd be older.
Yeah.
And I'd be fine with it. I would. The best years of my life wouldn't have been wasted on like the apocalypse. Dude,
we'd listen to Nirvana.
We listen to Nirvana. You could just work at the mall and afford your own apartment in New York. That was true. You could do that. All the best video games are coming out, and I know all the cheat codes, so I'm going to beat everybody. That'll be very nice.
You could be like, you could be the first professional gamer.
Oh my god.
You'd be a Street Fighter guy.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, to be a Street Fighter guy in 1992 or whenever the fuck it came out.
With like a pierced eyebrow and fucking Jinkos.
I would oh my god, I would be living my best life 18 in 1990.
Ah, Christ.
Just give me that fantasy so bad. I want it so bad.
Oh man, things are not going to be good. I just told you about I started brainstorming this as a screenplay, but absolutely this is plausible. With all this Neuralink shit, I was writing a story about a man whose his chip gets activated and his body gets commandeered by the police, who use him to shoot protesters. And then they just like put $1,000 in his account and they're like, "Thank you, citizen." We're all going to be RoboCop. That's going to be the solution. They're like, man, people really dislike the police. And, I mean, eventually people are going to start attacking police like Watchmen, because we should. I'm not saying that it's like, man, people hate the police and it's unsafe. It's like, well, yeah, the police are an occupying force. So,
it's your goddamn right, dude. I don't know. That's where I don't...
Eventually we're going to start scrapping with police, and they're going to be like, well, let's see, this is becoming a hassle, so we'll just make it so everyone has a chip in their head that activates and you become police when the state needs you to.
I mean, it's funny because that's not a far cry from the gig economy mixed with how they already like harvest our data.
Oh yeah, for
sure. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. Because like with like it used to be automation, we thought, oh well, that'll make it so that human labor is obsolete. And it won't, I think. I mean, depends how things go, but corporations aren't going to be like if eventually it'll get to the point where like labor is cheaper than machines again, just because
Bodies are disposable?
Yeah, bodies are disposable. They'll be like, let's see, so we can either pay to upkeep this robot or we can just activate a parole whenever we want to go direct traffic or like whatever the fuck we need them to do.
And then all the companies can also like boast like handmade.
Yeah, it's like we're putting people to work.
Yeah, dude.
And then just cut to a man like just horrified fighting a war.
Yeah. His Neuralink is just like bleeding and glitching. Like.
Yeah, but they'll also be like they'll be like, we are proud with the fact that our AI microchip unwilling workforce is completely gender neutral. We have people of all colors and gender expressions activated to become police against their will.
I thought you were describing like the Combine, where like part of the agreement is like they neuter you and shave your head. You just have
it could be that
you just have a scar down there.
Yeah.
And they're like, look, gotta be woke.
I mean, that's how it's.
And Army,
be.
Honestly, dude, that's time circling back.
That's how. I mean, people are gonna defend it somehow. They're gonna like find a way to brand it as woke.
Yeah, dude.
They're gonna be like, see, now our army is completely 50% female.
An army of eunuchs would truly be a return to like the past.
Oh, speaking of woke implications,
let's do it.
First of all, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. It's very sad.
Very sad, dude.
But also, 100%, they're just going to make the next Black Panther a woman, and the movie's going to bomb.
Yeah, we were talking about the chat. I was like, so what? Is the next one going to be about his bitches?
Yeah, yeah.
He has bitches, right? I can't remember. I swear to God, Black Panther has bitches.
Look, when I may have Black Panther and Black Dynamite confused, but in my memory, he has a lot of bitches.
I feel like he has bitches. I don't know why. I'm remembering the one standing next to him.
Well, like, I mean, the thing with any kind of woke victory is, like, when Black Panther came out, then they're like, well, when are we going to see a black woman? It's like, fucking stop leapfrogging.
Yeah.
Like, we're doing this.
It's Disney. They don't actually give a shit.
They don't actually give a shit. But, like, you can tell, like, I bet Disney was, like, secretly amped.
Right.
Full conspiracy brain here. They knew that he was terminally ill when they cast him, so that they could immediately recast him as a woman.
No, I don't think so at all. That's way too much of a risk for Disney. I think they definitely knew. I'm wondering now. I'm like truly wondering now, like how many of his movies, like.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm going full Hotep here, like sissification of black men. How long were they going to let black men have like a hero?
Dude, I was on the Hotep shit specifically. I was thinking about Billy Porter.
No,
he's this like gay guy. He's always at the award shows. He's this gay singer dancer. He did this fucking DNC video that literally looks like Tim and Eric of him singing like something happened today. Anyway, this incredibly flamboyant like gay black man always in a dress. It's like it to me it must be so painful for like Dave Chappelle and Martin Lawrence and fucking Arsenio Hall, all these people who like who railed against this idea that like Hollywood would put a black man in a dress just to emasculate him, and then Billy Porter shows up with his own damn dress. What? This is horseshit. I think he should be kicked out.
That reminds me of a conversation I had with my mom recently, where my mom, she called me and she's like, Brendan, I have something that you're going to love.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, what is it? And she's like, you got to look him up. He's this guy on YouTube. His name is Randy Rainbow.
Oh, Christ.
And he's a flamboyant, over-the-top gay guy who does song parodies where he really, really goes after Trump. And I'm like, Mom, I love you, but I don't think you understand the things that I like and dislike at all.
It's so funny. It's so funny that your parents are libs. It's very funny.
My parents have become. My mom has become like a Facebook resistance mom, and I love her, and it's adorable. But it is like it's kind of funny. Oh, also my dad. I think my dad is going the opposite way because he's just becoming like a red-pilled coward hour listener.
Is he really? I thought he was a Biden guy though.
I mean, I don't know what he is politically, but like, he for sure listens to this podcast like every week now.
Oh my
I love
God.
you, Dad. Hello.
Oh my God, dude.
But my mom, she was saying, she's like, yeah, your father, he was listening to your podcast, and I guess you call your girlfriend Bae. And I'm like, yeah, we have to. Otherwise, people will find out who they are.
Yeah.
And I guess my dad she's like, yeah, he was listening. So I don't know. Does that mean like on headphones, like next to her in the car? I have no idea.
What the fuck?
He's like, yeah, he paused it and he said, man, Brendan's girlfriend must be a great sport. And I was like, why? And he's
What?
like, well, he keeps calling her Bae. And she's like, well, what does Bae mean? He's like, I think it stands for best ass ever. And apparently my sister's there, and she's like, Dad, no, it doesn't. So you have to like look up like Urban Dictionary.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. What if our audience is all dads? That would be sick.
I guess. I mean,
It's all just 50-year-old men.
no. Honestly, before I was in a relationship, I was really hoping it was all like hot tattooed women, and I think a portion of it is.
Well, I mean, certainly a larger portion of it than we expect it is.
There was one in particular who was a little intense when we first joined with the Hard Times. I got some pretty intense DMs, but folks, we don't complain, do we? But now that like
My DMs, I don't get any horny DMs. I get a lot of concerned DMs.
dude, I'm glad that I think it's good that we each carry different loads. Being honest, because I think that, interestingly enough, I think that we carry the loads that are meant for us. I don't know if you'd be able to handle horny DMs, and I don't think that I would want to put up with whatever you're dealing with either.
I would not be able to navigate the DMs.
I think that you're given the gifts that are right for you.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now that I'm in a
I get
relationship, I'm like,
kindly mommy DMs.
I don't give a fuck who listens to this podcast now. I used to have such horny intentions with this podcast. Which is wrong to do.
Yeah.
Actually, if I'm thinking about it, they kind of worked out.
It did.
That's
I don't know how
literally-
much detail you want to go into on Mike, but I gotta say that I'm happy that the first occurrence worked out how it did.
That's
so
funny.
that there will be no further
There will
occurrences.
be no further occurrences. But yeah, because I'm like, I guess that was a result of the podcast. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. No, 100%.
Well, that makes look. I'm having my cake and eating it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You get one Kilstein.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do. If he had kept, imagine if he had kept it to one,
Keep it to one.
probably would have been beloved.
Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ.
This is a premium episode, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good, nice. She does not pay for Coil.
Speaking of which, if you're listening to this, thank you for subscribing to Coil.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for doing it, guys.
Mm-hmm. It is so wonderful that this podcast that has been ruining our lives for 2 years is starting to turn a profit.
So yeah, man, I don't know. I'm back. My mind has just been melting because of the news, but I also don't want to stop reading it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've got it to a good balance where like you fill me in, Bae fills me in.
I can't believe you missed a lot. You missed the whole Jacob Blake thing.
I did totally. I mean, I've been dipping my toe back into Twitter, but I've been mostly not reading it.
Right.
I've just been posting, which is really what I mean. I love posting. The problem with posting is the feedback.
Right. Yeah.
I wish that I could post and nobody can like.
Well, but then do you even want to post, Brendan? Why don't you just write in a journal?
I mean, I could do that, but what am I if you found a journal in my room where I'd written down 140 character thoughts?
Who are you letting into your room?
Well, you.
I'm not going to go through your journal, Brendan. I'm just saying, I think there's still some desire for engagement if you're bothering to post on a platform, even if you're not looking at the responses.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I guess, like, I don't mind. I like writing jokes. I like seeing that people enjoy the jokes. I don't want to read anyone else's thoughts at all.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's...
None at all.
I don't know, sometimes, you know what? I really get caught up in the thought game. I think sometimes I really do enjoy perusing thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I will really get caught up like in the Twitter sphere of just like, whoa, wow, we're a community. Like I was on
for the most part. What I'll do sometimes is someone will like screen cap someone else's thought and post it in a group chat,
right?
And then I go on and I respond to Robert Schultz, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, Robert. I did that this week.
I've flipped on Robert Schultz because he likes my tweets occasionally, so now...
No, I like Robert, but good God, do I become exasperated by the things that he posts.
He's playing a game. Some people play the game. And he's young.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he young? Is he
yeah,
not young?
I think so.
Okay.
And he's a funny guy and my friend, but
sure.
Someone needs to take him to task online. Like so many, he has lost his way online.
Him and his girlfriend are starting to talk similarly, like in their videos. It's just a funny thing that I noticed. We won't dox who's who. It is funny that she tweeted that. It's very funny when I see her tweet something and then like I like,
and I'll say, I mean, I'm not going to name her, but I will say that she is someone I've who's been nice to me at Mike's,
right?
Who I like,
sure.
But
for whatever reason,
yeah,
but she's somebody where she'll tweet sometimes and like. She'll tweet, and then, like, I'll see it, and then, like, Sean Preston will text me. He'll go, what the fuck is this? But it's very funny, like, when she'll tweet something that makes people mad, and the subtweets are so abundant that it's just, like, in my Twitter feed. I'm like, Twitter's definitely supposed to be filtering this out. Like, I know that they don't like this stuff. So there must be a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the algorithm's weird. But yeah, that individual, she tweets a lot about, like, white men forcing women to watch mafia movies, which, like... It's like you're like, we see what your boyfriend is posting. He doesn't do that.
Right, exactly.
And also it made me just so thankful for Bae, because it made me remember like when I found out that Bae had secretly been of her own volition watching The Sopranos so that she could share something I love. And I'm like, wow,
why would she do that in secret?
Just because she wanted to I guess she wanted to surprise me. I don't know. Or she didn't want me to be like, oh, no, you don't have to do... She just wanted to do it and just, like, share something that I love.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, my girlfriend is the opposite of a female comedian. And I love her so much.
Yeah, dude, me and Bae swap back and forth. We're like, it's a real nice tip for tat. Like, I'm watching Married at First Sight. I can get into it. There's a lot of really toxic people on that show, and it's really fun to, like, psychoanalyze them. So that's the angle that I come at it from. Mm-hmm. I think she likes the drama. But then she, like, I don't know. We watched Killer Joe together. Like, she is down for whatever fucked up movie I suggest.
Yeah, I mean, I like sharing Bae's interests.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watch a lot of cartoons with her that I wouldn't ordinarily watch. Or like, she's into reality TV, so I was like, look, I know the perfect thing for you to watch. And have you ever seen the Hot Girls Wanted like series?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know the episode where, like, the cam girl goes to meet her, like, best John?
No, I don't know.
Okay. That. I was like, babe, you gotta watch this. It's so funny. And what it is, so there's the Hot Girls Wanted documentary where it's, like, about porn stars.
That's what I've seen.
That's what you've seen.
Yeah.
But then there was, like, a 6-episode series afterwards that, it was good. I don't know why they didn't make more of it, but it was, like, 6 mini documentaries about how technology is changing sex. And one of them is about these 3 retarded people who, so it's a cam girl, her husband, who clearly hates her being a cam girl,
yeah,
and then her, like, number 1 customer, who's this fat, autistic Australian guy.
Right.
And all 3 of them are just hurting each other. They're all making all the wrong decisions. So, like, the cam girl, she thinks that, she's like, well, I'm polyamorous, and she thinks she's in love with her best customer in addition to her husband. And
the autistic Australian guy?
Yeah. Who's just like this fucking comic book nerd guy who's like a nighttime security guard. And I guess the economy's good enough there that, like, you can do that and have an apartment and, like, pay for some American cam girls, like, tit implants.
Damn.
So it just shows, like, like she's camming for this guy. His name is his name is Approximate, like his screen name.
Oh, is Approximate?
And she's like, "Do you want to get off with me, Approximate?" "Oh, my husband's in the room. Say hi." And he's just sitting there on his phone. He's like, "Hi, Approximate." Like they know each other at this point.
Why would he be in the? Why are you in the room for that?
It's a small apartment. They live in West Hollywood.
Oh my god. Oh, you know what? I want to go on like a map to the stars, but just for these people. I want to like see if I can recognize where they are.
And then so they've been like camming every day for like 5 years. So they decide that he's earned the right to meet her. So he pays to fly her out to Melbourne or wherever. So it's like it cuts to the husband. He's just like, "I love her so much, and I don't know what I would ever do if I lost her." Like, he clearly does not want her to go.
Why doesn't he say this?
Because he's a fucking worm.
Probably because she pays the rent, huh?
I mean, probably because she pays the rent. And Bae was saying, she's like, "What do you think that she would do if he said don't go?" And I was like, well, she would never be with the kind of man who would. Because you can tell, like,
yeah,
they're all misguided, but you can tell there's like a little bit where like all three of them are wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell there's a little bit of her where like she has the power in the relationship, and she would never be with someone who would like be an equal and like put any kind of boundaries in place.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to know more about it.
Because the husband is like an ugly man.
Oh, really?
He's like a profoundly ugly man.
Oh, you need to let me know that.
Oh, okay.
So this is what she does. She has little ducks following her around, basically.
Yeah. But also, like,
can I say?
But also, I'll say, I think she genuinely does think that she has like a relationship with the cam guy.
Is she hot?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. So I was imagining something totally different. Okay.
I mean, she's not like hideous, but she's like a fat girl with big tits.
So this is three ugly. I don't care anymore.
It's three.
I don't give a fuck.
It's three ugly, retarded people all ruining their lives.
I do not care.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna like this. I don't care when ugly people's feelings are hurt. I don't care. I don't care. It's not a loss for anybody. Nobody's losing here. Because your wife sucks. She's fat. She's ugly.
Mm-hmm.
You're ugly, so it'll be easy to get another fat, ugly wife.
Yeah.
And this guy's autistic. Let him get his rocks off, dude. This will be his highest point.
Oh, and then a further complication is that the fat autistic guy has like this. He has this like this girl in his D&D group who's like not hideous, who's kind of cute and clearly in love with him.
Really?
And she's like, so are you in love with her? And he's like, yes, I think I am. And she's like, well, I just don't want to see your feelings get hurt. I think you should go in with realistic expectations. They're all Australian, so it's very funny. But anyway, I play all this for Bae, and I'm like, you're going to think this is so funny. And as we watch it, she's just immediately empathizing with everyone.
Right.
And I'm like, oh no, this is going to be one of the... like 15 minutes into it, I'm like, is this one of those times where I think something's really funny and then it
You're
reveals
on the wrong page.
It reveals a flaw about me? She's like, yeah, I mean that already happened, but we'll keep watching it.
I just don't like that if the show is called Hot Girls Wanted, there is some obligation on the show's part to show me hot people. And to show me three fat, ugly people, I mean, I really don't care. When I see ugly people as a couple, like when I'm out in the world and I see like an ugly couple in the grocery store, I like get mad. I do. I do not like ugly people. Yeah, Bae and I were watching but I have empathy for the autistic guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I do. We were watching autism. We were watching Love on the Spectrum, that Netflix show. That's that show will make you cry, dude.
Yeah, that's the one that that's where retarded incel gets brutally rejected comes from, right?
No.
That's
this
the BBC
is a
show.
new show because this show takes place in Australia also.
Okay.
So again,
that's like a hotbed for autistic horniness.
Something is going on. Something is going on in Australia. But it's fucking there's this one guy, Kelvin. He's this autistic Chinese Australian. They go to like a Benihana style place. Him and this girl. It's this dating agency that like sets these people up on I mean, I was alternating between
What
laughing
the
and tearing
fuck
up.
is this business called?
I don't remember. But it's nice. There's an old woman. She comes. She sees how much they understand about human emotions before pairing them. And some of these people, I think, are gaming the system because some of these people don't seem autistic at all. Some of these people I see.
Yes, I'm retarded. Wink.
You see some of these people on these dates were like, there was one person, she was like a perfectly charming woman on this date with like this catatonically autistic person. I was like, somebody needs to break this up because this feels potentially abusive. But these two
They gotta, before the date, everybody names the shapes, and if you don't get the same score, it's done.
you're done. You can't.
Yeah.
But these two seemingly equally autistic people, so it seemed like play ball.
So not abuse.
Not abuse, as far as I'm concerned. They go to this fucking, like, Kelvin, he's trying so hard. He's this Australian Chinese autistic guy. He's, like, got, like, the ways, what you do on a date, like, written down. He's, like, saying it in his head, all this stuff. And this girl shows up, this, like, frumpy, white autistic. She's such a bitch. She takes out the Nintendo Switch. She takes out the Nintendo Switch while they're waiting for their starters. That's wrong. She forces him to play. And then he says something. I can't remember what he says, but he says it weird. Well, she says it weird, and then he repeats how she says it, and she goes, "What did you say? I'm not trying to be racist right now, but what did you sounded like, you honestly sounded kind of Chinese." And he goes, "Yes, I am a Chinese boy from a Chinese family." He goes,
Damn. He's retarded and Chinese.
he goes,
That's two things, buddy.
she accuses him of being Chinese, and he goes, "I am. I am a Chinese boy from a Chinese family." I mean, they're horrible to
So
each
what?
other.
Forgive me for this, but do his eyes then look normal? Premium episode, baby.
And I can't. And all he does, this guy Kelvin.
Imagine him he's practicing on like a Fisher Price violin for 12 hours a day.
Dude,
his father's like, "Yes, very good."
Kelvin, God bless Kelvin, like, they ask him, like, what his ideal girlfriend would be like. He's like, "Oh, I have drawn her." And he has just, like, he just has files and files.
I am vibing with Kelvin.
He has files and files of bays that he has drawn with superpowers. They each have their own attributes and abilities. And he writes their backstories and uploads them to DeviantArt.
Hell yes.
I mean, Calvin is...
I didn't realize, like, when I was in middle school and I would put things on DeviantArt, I never questioned the name. And now as an adult, I'm like, oh, it was designed for perverts, and then people started using it for regular art.
Absolutely. Oh,
did not
yes, they
realize.
cleaned up. I think it's referred to casually as DA.
Okay.
I think they've... I might be wrong.
Yeah, they clean it up. They're like, all right, the furry stuff is going to be in its own section.
Yeah.
You're going to have to log in to see hand-drawn child pornography. Sorry, it's not child pornography because it's a fairy who's 1,000 years old. Whatever you need to tell yourself.
Oh, that's my favorite anime trope where it's like, no, she's 900 years old. It's like, really? Because she has
We're playing by Baby Yoda rules.
I'm glad that you can fuck Baby Yoda. Nothing makes me happier than being able to fuck Baby Yoda.
But yeah, I relate to Kelvin because I remember Shannon, one time she asked me, she was like, "Brendan, what's your ideal woman like?" And then I just started describing. I was like, "Oh, they're like, like 5'2", brunette, maybe like Jewish or Italian." She's like, "No, I meant like her personality."
Yep.
And I just described like a very specific woman physically. And then when I met Bae, I was like, "Oh, there she is."
Right.
Mm-hmm. And now we're in a committed relationship.
She just met the great. I mean, look, I think that physical attraction is like. I think that it's actually completely fine to hold physical attraction in high regard because that's a meaningful way to be attracted to somebody initially. And then you can. I mean, like, especially if like. What they're trying to prove with these shows we've been watching, like Marriage at First Sight, Love is Blind, they're trying to prove to people that, like, you can fall in love with somebody, like, even if you don't know what they look like and, like, they might not meet your expectations. But I think that just proves that, like, you can you can just fall in love with somebody. Like, it's fine if what attracts you to them is their looks.
I also think people are
anything.
like, people are so exasperated with the whole process that, like, if you give them a framework to work within that's not just the chaos of swiping, they're like, great,
yeah,
okay.
well, it's it's not even a framework you work within. It's the fucking experts, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about these shows, what I've been noticing is I'm watching these shows with Bae, because she's like, this really works. I'm like, well, the whole point is, like, every couple gets divorced except for one at the end of these seasons. So, like, what's the batting average here for these marriage experts? Not good at all.
No.
I think like in the 11 seasons of the show, there have only been like 6 successfully married couples. There's like 4 couples a season. Doesn't work.
So are there like repeat retards who keep showing up on the show? Like, I'm ready to give it another try.
Oh, no. No, you're talking about that's Love on the Spectrum.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about Married at First Sight.
Okay.
But oh yeah, oh my god. Dude, Love on the Spectrum, so rarely are there second dates. It's just strikeout after strikeout
I feel like
after strikeout.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I feel like if anybody, if poly is a successful lifestyle for anybody, gotta be retards.
Retards, I think that retards can be in love.
I mean, also because, like, there's so many more males with Down syndrome than females. It's gotta be like a Smurfs type situation.
Is that true?
Yes.
So you think that the males are gangbanging the female Downs?
I've actually heard stories of this.
What? Have you noticed that Down syndrome people they're sort of sexually deviant?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Well, I mean, like,
is this wrong to say?
It's true, but I heard a story from someone who used to work at like, you know those like workplaces where they like give them a job.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Yeah. Well, they worked at a place where they were like supervising people with Down syndrome doing some sort of task, and they would keep catching them all gangbanging. Because like there's not that many girls. They're all sterile, so like nothing's gonna happen. And they would just have to like break them up because they just all be fucking.
Oh my god, dude! You gotta go in with like a pole and fucking like hoist them off of each other. Holy fuck, dude!
Yeah, you. Yeah, you have like a long pole with like a net on the end of it, like a zookeeper.
Dude, you come in, you find like a Down syndrome guy coming on a Down syndrome girl's back and throwing a blanket on it. He's like, "We call that the peanut butter falcon." Down syndrome people just doing street jokes on each other.
I mean, let them do it. Like,
let them do it.
I mean, like keep an eye on it for sure. I mean, definitely make sure that have some regular check-ins, because I mean, consent could be a weird issue there. But
I had this friend. Yeah, you gotta. I mean, look.
I wonder if my Uncle Bill ever fucked.
You had Down syndrome?
Yeah, my great Uncle Bill. He had Down syndrome. I was scared of him when I was a kid, which I feel bad about.
Sure. Yeah, I was scared of Buzzy.
But yeah, he I think he lived with my grandparents. He knew all the Phillies stats. He knew every player and the batting order and everything. And then they.
Are you sure this guy had Down syndrome, Brenda?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
That's just. I don't know if I could remember all that.
Well, he had his thing, Uncle Bill. And I think it was one of those situations where, like, I mean, he was born in like the 30s, so they were like, okay, well, we'll send him to a home forever,
right? And
my grandpa and his dad were like, no, we're going to keep him,
right?
And
yeah,
I wonder if he ever had sex.
I feel like at some point somebody hires a whore. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, especially like pre 1950.
Get him a whore, please.
Yeah.
I remember my buddy Jamie back in Front Park. He apparently had somebody in his extended family who had a relative who had Down syndrome, and they hooked them up. Like, they got married. They like arranged a marriage between this other girl who had Down syndrome, which is like another thing that I've seen in some documentaries.
What a flex over your other retarded buddies,
dude! Totally. So there was
Guess what, boys?
my
Not to brag, but
yeah, my mommy and my daddy got me a wife. So I think they were
get
like
married in black sweatpants and a tuxedo shirt. They play Stone Cold's intro music when you walk out down the aisle.
the priest is like they have to fish the ring out of his mouth. Where's the ring?
I swallowed it.
So I think that apparently they were married, but I don't think they let them. I think they were still kept in separate homes, even though they were legally married. Like, they wouldn't let them sleep together. And there was one Thanksgiving where they just could not stop getting them to talk about how he was gonna put his penis in her vagina. Like, at the dinner table, like, he just kept threatening to put his penis in his retarded wife's vagina.
Like, they were like, "No, don't."
Yes,
I'm gonna do it.
yeah, I think he
I love like the cocky way that some retarded guys speak.
Oh, Down
Like,
syndrome people specifically.
I'm gonna fuck my wife.
Well, it's like they look at you from the side. The way that I remember.
Oh
Jamie
yeah, a lot of
describing it,
side eye.
they were sitting at the table together holding hands, and he was like going, "Mama, guess what? Mama, guess what I'm gonna do?" And let him do it.
Mm-hmm.
Let him do it. Let there be as many. I like that you're okay with poly relationships as long as it's people who have Down syndrome.
Oh yeah, because I mean,
Everybody should get a turn.
yeah, because I mean they're sterile, so there's no paternity is not an issue.
Right.
I mean they're not gonna like. It's not like they're gonna fuck people without Down syndrome, so they're not gonna
Right.
spread diseases.
True.
Also, I mean like, it's a numbers thing.
Well, wait a minute, Brendan. They will still spread diseases just amongst the Down syndrome community.
Well, how you think there's people who have AIDS with Down syndrome?
I'm sure. I mean, probably they
wouldn't
wouldn't make it.
Who's fucking sharing needles with someone?
If somebody with Down syndrome has AIDS, they probably aren't making it to the gangbang.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay, you're right. This process does kind of weird.
I mean, yeah, it's not like they're gonna drive themselves there. This is like an organized thing.
This is a self-refining process. You're right.
Yeah,
Okay.
you rent like a VFW hall somewhere, and everybody brings their, the parents are like outside. There's like a potluck or something for
Right.
everybody else.
Yeah. People
Yeah.
are having pizza in a cup.
Yeah,
They're ignoring the noises coming from the sportsplex.
there's a counselor of some sort in there.
It's literally
There's someone. It's like basically it's like an activities coordinator on a cruise ship. That kind of energy where it's like, all right, everybody, and now we're gonna do the Macarena.
It's vacation Bible school, but just for Down syndrome people to fuck each other.
I'm pretty sure that there's like 25% women in like the Down syndrome community.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting.
I mean, you don't really see any anymore. I guess
People with Down syndrome?
you don't see that many. I guess.
Yes, you do.
Really?
Yeah, you don't see many in this apartment, I guess. I see them all the time when I'm fucking dude, when I go down to like I go to the new Food for Less now in like I guess it's Midtown. I'm just scoping Down syndrome kids left and right. Mexican Down syndrome, a new strain of Down syndrome I had never seen.
Well, I guess that's I mean, Mexicans are Catholic, right?
Right.
So they don't get abortions.
Right.
So that's why
We
you don't see white retarded people.
That's
anymore.
exactly right.
Mm.
Yeah, we're like enough of this. Oh,
Which
God.
I don't know how I feel about.
You know what?
I don't know what my take on that is.
It's nobody knows. It's difficult to say.
It's really difficult to say.
Look, I'm just saying, if you can show me an X-ray that tells me I'm gonna have a goo baby, let me get out of it. I don't want it anymore. I need to free up some space in my wife's pussy hard drive. We're gonna put a new file in there.
We got to reformat.
Yeah, honey. Unfortunately, we have to defrag your pussy. Yeah,
The asshole is like the D drive. Oh no, we only put backup files in there. That's for backup for when the pussy is when it's full.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Dick Data finally makes sense. We keep calling episodes that.
Yeah, we just need to like rearrange this in chronological order now. We need to like Frankenstein together the saga of Dick Data.
Mm-hmm. Well, one day, the goal is that eventually AI, like, we can both just be living in different cities with our wives, and then an AI just deep fakes an episode. I mean, you could basically program an algorithm to do this episode, be like, all right, take a wacky situation, do black voice comedy about it. Brendan made a mistake.
Police brutality. We're woke. 20 minutes later. Maybe not.
Remember, Trump is bad.
Yeah.
I a Chinese man, and Mr. Trump is bad president. All right, run the riff meter. 15 seconds of riff. Nick fucked once.
Yeah. I fucked once.
Brendan fucked once.
But far less than Nick.
Far less than Nick.
The ratio of Brendan fucking to Nick fucking, I do want to figure out.
I think I have more sex stories than you. But you've had sex with well more women.
Yeah, I mean, look.
It's just that way more of my sex was memorable in
notable.
an unpleasant way.
Yeah, worth taking into account. Every time
my average sexual encounter was much more dramatic.
Every time you have sex, you have to document it so that mistakes aren't made, like so that you don't make those mistakes again. Basically,
yeah. I've run the numbers so many times, and they just don't add up to anything.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I think that I do have a lot of sex stories. I just truly throw them out of my brain.
You're just like, well, let's delete that one. Moving on.
I don't like to think about the sex stories where I wasn't very cool. I spend so much time during sex, like, making sure that I'm, like, mugging, like, making a good face.
Oh, you gotta make a good face.
You have to. If you don't look like a movie star when you fuck, you're a loser. You're a loser. I love doing I love, like, trying to imagine that I look like Brad Pitt while I'm fucking a girl.
I'm kind of in a trap where, like, I don't come reliably, but I want girls in the past, and I guess just bang now, to know I'm having a good time. So for the past couple of years, I've started making a lot of faces and noises when I have sex to try to, like, project. Because, like, I am enjoying myself.
Can you shoot me a face real quick?
It's like, oh,
really?
Not quite that dramatically, but I'll be like, oh. A lot of, like, abdominal.
But it's false. You're acting, right? But you're trying to mimic what you think is like a display of pleasure.
Well, I am choosing to express how I am feeling. I mean, one could argue that, like, as a man,
so sex is a total. Don't make this woke. Sex is the total act of suppression for you. You have to consciously let your guard down to enjoy sex.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. It's not that I'm, like, acting. It's that I'm deciding to not suppress my pleasure.
Man, that is fucked up, dude.
I suppose so.
You're like a fucking Arab woman.
Well, that's 58 minutes.
That's 58 minutes. That's 2 minutes short of an hour, folks.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Knock, knock, open up, it's me, the crazy, shady, faded fucker, so rock the G. See you lady, make a baby, lead her on in peace. Only time I give a fuck is for my own relief. That's why I own these streets. Straight up, portfolio, showing growth, fuck a pay cut. Yeah, you know I stay slut. Catch me in the spot, looping up for the self-suck. Oh fuck, I busted already, I'm coming bucket so heavy. My dream of cream coming steady, now my mouth open, I'm ready. I'm talking solo, heavy petting on a Friday night. That's talking bashing the bishop, more like Nantucket's delight. I'm taking all the time I need to do it just right. Got my candles in the fishnets cause it's on tonight. Oh, that's right, it's time to fillet. No need to debate me, I suck until I go ooh-wee and spray my white pee-pee. I got that ski.